I'm here with Mikey, the show manager for the Everything to Do with Sex show, and thank you so much for joining me, Mikey. I appreciate it.
It's all my pleasure.
Now, Mikey, tell me a little bit about how this show comes together.
Okay, so it comes together with a lot of hard work and planning.
Definitely.
And talking to all
fun.
our vendors. Yes, a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with our vendors. They're great people.
Yes.
And really, it takes about 6 months to put this all together between the entertainment, everything, our exhibitors, our advertising budgets, everything to get the message out. And really, the key for us is to make this as much of a party as it is a trade show. If you see, we have the lights dimmed down here, the whole floor is liquor license, we got music piped in throughout the show, and we want people to have a good time, feel comfortable, because they got to ask those questions that they're too afraid to ask.
Exactly. Permission and consent, right, Mikey?
Exactly.
Oh,
no, you go. You had something to say.
Well, what I was going to ask you, I see the fashion show is on right now.
Yeah.
What are some of the other shows or seminars that happen here?
Okay, well, in terms of other shows, we've got the Bad Boy of Hypnosis, David Curran, coming on. We have the #1 burlesque performer in the world, Roxy Delight.
Roxy Delight is here. I'm excited
amazing.
about Roxy
She's
Delight.
actually doing her brand new pole show that no one else has seen ever.
Wow.
And
is she anywhere around here? Can I find her?
Yeah,
Am I going to be able to hunt her down?
Yeah, 100%. You can go right back there. We have a whole entertainment area where you can talk to her, Jetta Dore, Assassin,
Amazing.
Hollywood Jade, and his Urbanesque team. We have plenty for you to talk to here. And really, like I said, the goal is for people to have fun, see a show, get excited, do some shopping, and then go home and play.
Well, how long have you been with the Everything to Do with Sex show?
This is year 7 for me, and I did 2 years before that as sort of like a volunteer doing ticket taking and info booth.
Does it get better every year?
It really does, and that's because people get more open, and there's more new fun toys coming out. I mean, this year alone, you're seeing a big switch, or in the last, I shouldn't say just this year, but in the last few years, you're seeing a lot of the toy companies switch away from the jelly that's very bad for you and moving towards the medical grade silicone because it's a lot more healthy, it doesn't stain, it's non-porous. So these things are really hitting the market. You're seeing a lot of toys with actual remote controls, because that's a big thing. If
Solar. There's solar going on.
Is there solar going on?
Solar.
That is something new to me. I don't know how much a solar toy works since it's like really a nighttime thing, but I guess you charge during the day and play at night.
Exactly. Now, okay, speaking of toys, really quickly, there are so many toys here, so many different products to offer. What are some of your favorites?
My personal favorite is always the We Vibe, because I find that's something I can use with my partner and we can enjoy together, as opposed to like a toy maybe just for me or a toy just for her. This is something that's a great toy for couples, because a lot of men find toys intimidating. They find, especially ones that are shaped like another penis, for lack of a better term, they feel like they're being replaced. With a toy like the We Vibe, and I always talk about this, it's something that, the men gets enhanced pleasure from, and the woman does too. It helps a woman reach climax a lot earlier than it does normally.
To my knowledge, it's Canadian, isn't it?
It is Canadian engineered. It's done by an old guy who used to work for Nortel Networks, got laid off. He was an engineer, so he came up with a great toy.
It's one of my favorites, I'm not going to lie to you.
It is amazing, and they have 3 new products with the Tango, the Salsa, and the Touch. Very powerful vibes. Again, very great quality, and they're fully rechargeable. And that's another thing. You're starting to see a lot of the toys are going rechargeable, because it just makes sense. It's better for the environment, better for the pocketbook, and it's just better overall.
It is better overall. And you don't have to reach for batteries, like run out to the living room.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
The batteries, stumble back in, and then, there it goes.
And you know what? I find that like batteries are just unsexy. Whereas, it's just much more fun.
Lose them.
And you see, like, also with the toys, like, I think a lot more women are getting into the design of these toys, because you're seeing them become a lot prettier. You look 30 years ago, you saw like giant penises.
Yep.
That was it. Vibrating penises, non-vibrating, but that was it.
And now it's so diverse, right?
It started with Fun Factory, was the first really to go with the design. They had the Caterpillar and some of the things like that, and it's exploded from there.
Now, we were talking about women. Now, I've noticed that women have made a huge jump into the industry. They've become more visible, they've become more vocal, especially as vendors creating toys. What are some of the vendors actually that we have here? Do we have a lot of women-based vendors here?
A ton of women-based vendors. Fantasia's owned by a woman. Good for Her's owned by a woman.
Good for Carlisle Jansen, Good for Her.
She's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Carrie
Homage
Gray
to
from
her.
Aslan Leather is fantastic.
Also.
You know, so there's a lot of women who are in the industry being, you know, and you don't have to look any further. It's not just the sex toy industry, but the porn industry in general.
Exactly.
If you know, like, we're a sponsor of the Feminist Porn Awards that happens in Toronto yearly.
Which is a fantastic award show.
It's a great award show. It shows people that, you know what, porno isn't just male dominated. There's other more romantic stuff that's coming out, because you're seeing a jump for, you know, not just for men the porn now, you're looking at couples porn coming out.
Exactly, making it real for couples to be able to enjoy.
Exactly, and you know what? Couples are looking for ways to increase their sex life. That's why they come to an event like ours. You've got, like we've talked about, the stage shows already. We've talked about the toys, and now let's talk about the seminars, which is a great place to start the conversation off. Ones that you're uncomfortable to have, even though you're intimate, you might not want to say, you know, your oral sex is pretty good.
We don't want to be rating our partners in the bedroom, 1 to 10.
You know? This, it would be that much better, and then you're likely to never get that again.
Exactly.
So if you go to a seminar on, say, oral sex, you can be like, that's a great idea.
Hey,
you
babe.
sit beside your partner, you're like, that's great, we should try that.
Exactly.
As opposed to you saying,
little
I
nudge,
want
nudge,
this.
wink, wink.
Exactly.
You know, nice way to do it.
A lot of people, for example, like, that's why our anal sex seminar is so busy, because I think
Carlisle's putting that one on.
she does, and she does a great job of. And why our presenters are so good is because it's not analytical, it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, they're fun, people are laughing, and you're getting great information.
Are there any other vendors that I should be on the lookout for tonight?
100%. You should be on the lookout for all of our vendors.
I
don't want to single anyone out in particular, but what I can say is the one thing I haven't mentioned, go to the dungeon. You should be playing in there.
I heard about this dungeon. I don't know, Mikey, you might have to come with me to the dungeon. We'll explore it together.
I'll let you know, the first year I ever worked at the show, I let them chain me up to St. Andrew's Cross and beat me. That was my first and my last BDSM experience.
I remember I was at Pride in June this year in San Francisco, and we walked past Leather Alley, and it was the cracking of the whips the whole time. And do we have any whip cracking here?
Oh, you will hear a bullwhip, and it's amazing the response it gets from the crowd.
Amazing.
You'll hear a bullwhip will crack, and literally 300 people will walk in just after that sound. Because people are very, you know what, we're driven by our senses, whether it's hearing, smell, touch, you know, so, or taste.
Well, thank you so much, Mikey, for talking to me about this.
It was my
today.
pleasure.
I am here with none other than Roxy Delight, the queen of burlesque, Miss Exotic 2010. How are you doing, Roxy?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Now, you're here at the show this year, but do you come every year, or how does that work?
This is my second run with them.
Your second run?
Yes.
Gets
with everything
better?
to do with sex show. I love them. They're amazing and great people.
And I hear you're putting on a show later.
Yes, at 9:30. It's my second show. I'm debuting a new act.
Ooh.
It's called Easy Street, and it has a stripper pole.
Oh,
That's a street lamp.
ooh, that's a street. That's creative. I like it. I like it though. Now, Roxy, tell me a little bit about the world of burlesque. Let me and my viewers know a little bit more about what does it take to be a burlesque dancer. How did you get into it?
I started as a feature entertainer in strip clubs, and I felt like I wanted to do more, and I really liked performing. I loved being on stage, and I was working at a swingers club called the Wild Orchid, and my shows were kind of themed in a burlesque theme. I didn't know what burlesque was, and somebody approached me and said, "Thank you for bringing burlesque back." I was like, "What is it?" And I Googled it and loved it. So.
Fantastic. What are some of your favorite burlesque dancers that you kind of look up to? I mean, there's so many.
There's a lot. I don't know.
Or do you kind of do your own thing?
I feel like I kind of do my own thing, but there's so many amazing performers out there, and it's really nice to be inspired. And I love going to shows like the Crazy Horse in Paris. It's just absolutely amazing, and it's a great show.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did just the other day, and I'm literally telling you the truth. I watched that burlesque movie with Cher and Christina Aguilera the other day.
Yes.
And it was pretty fun. But what I can take from it and what I can tell other people about burlesque is that it really is a beautiful art form, right? And there's just so much work that goes into it, so much care that you take for your moves and what you do, really. What is your favorite part about being a burlesque?
My favorite part about being a burlesque performer, I would have to say, is being able to express yourself and create a piece, a performance piece, and it's kind of like your baby, and it does take a long time, and there's so much thought that goes into everything, the costuming, the music, what you're going to do on stage, and the gratification of it all is pulling the audience into what you're doing and having that connection with them and them really enjoying your show.
Fantastic. Now, Miss Exotic World 2010, what was that about? Tell me a little bit about that competition. Where was it based out of?
Miss Exotic World is held in Vegas, and a wonderful lady who is a burlesque legend named Dixie Evans, she started it, and she calls it the Burlesque Hall of Fame Reunion, and it's been going on for 21 years, I think it is now, and they every year there's a new queen crowned, and they have a lot of old burlesque legends that come, and you can meet them, and some of them still perform. It's really amazing. It's gratifying to go as a burlesque performer and learn from them.
What was your winning piece? What did you perform that just wowed the crowd?
I did my smoking cigar number. The first year I did my Runaway Bride, and I won second place, and I wasn't even expecting that. It was my first competition. I was really nervous, and I come from a strip club background, so that was. And then and then I did that, and then the second year I did my smoking cigar. So it's a giant cigar, and I get on top, and it smokes.
Yeah,
it's very phallic.
Who doesn't love a little phallus every once in a while, right?
Right.
Now, Roxy, what I was looking up online actually about you is, you're based out of Windsor, aren't you?
Windsor, Ontario.
Windsor, Ontario. So where in Windsor, because that's close to London, where we're from, where in Windsor, Ontario can people come and watch your show?
Actually, they can come and see a show I'm producing at Boom Boom Room November 12th. It's called Boom Boom Burlesque, and I'm bringing in performers from all over the world. Our headliners this time are Trixie Little and Evil Hate Monkey.
Fantastic.
They're absolutely amazing. It's a circus theme. Friends from Theater Bazaar will be there.
Sexy clowns?
They're not quite sexy clowns. Look up theaterbazaar.com and you'll understand. It's really mind-blowing. And we actually have a couple performers from Toronto. Chris Mysterion, the Mind Reader, he's hosting it.
Wow.
He's from Toronto. He does Mentalism.
Wow.
And Tanya Cheeks. So it's going to be a great show.
That's amazing. Well, Roxy, thank you so much for taking a moment to talk to me here at the Everything to Do with Sex show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Keep watching.